All right. This is Right on the Edge. My name is Derek. Reacting to Never Stop Complaining About the Epstein Files by Asmongold TV. Um, I just think it's important to, keep apprised of this and figure out what's going on with the situation. I know it's been up and down and whatever. So I have no idea what this video is about, but let's get into it.
I don't think that we should ever stop complaining about it. Never stop complaining about the Epstein thing. Oh, here we go.
He said the thing, guy. He said the title right there in the video. He said it. All right.
We got Tucker Carlson talking about it too. Let's look at this.
The people don't matter in this case.
Man, I think this, for a bunch of reasons, it's so obvious. It is salacious. People have followed it for years. The president promised to reveal the truth about.
I agree. Yeah, he promised it. He name dropped when he was running for president, He straight up called out both the Clintons and Prince Andrew by name. Like, why the fuck? They should. Why aren't they doing it? But, yeah, let's, fuck, let's just keep going. Man, it's crazy that they're even trying to cover this up. It's so well documented.
But
you know something else? Ever since this whole thing started getting to be a big deal, I've been seeing a lot more lizards lately.
A lot of lizards?
Every time I go outside, there's like 2 or 3 lizards. Me too? Huh? That's crazy. Where are all them? Where do they all come from?
It's the it's the lizard people, bro, man. They're keeping spying on you.
I don't know.
This
It's just crazy.
and Bondi, as you said, we're on television, so we have the truth. We're going to give it to you.
Yes.
I think this is I think this is a big deal. It's a really big deal. It's bigger. I hope so too, actually. So let's just assess this logically.
Very big deal.
They're covering up.
It's a giant
the
deal.
DOJ, the current DOJ under Pam Bondi is covering up crimes.
Undeniably. Yeah, and trying to pin it all on Epstein is wild. Over 250 victims, supposedly, or whatever that number is. It kept growing. Forget the pilots, forget the boats, forget the people that took care of the island. All those people don't exist. The thousands of tapes that they said they had that the FBI lost or misplaced somewhere. And now it's just like, oh, that fucking Maxwell lady. She was just all these girls or whatever, and God only the children were just being trafficked for Epstein alone. I was like, bro, I don't think it's physically possible for him to have done it all. I mean, but maybe, right? Maybe, maybe he had some of Diddy's secret sauce out there.
I think somebody's getting covered for. I think I do. I think that there is a 0% chance that nobody is that there's actually no leads. No fuck.
If you could go less than 0, I would go less than 0. I think 0 is even too high. It's crazy that this hasn't been released.
In way, man.
Very serious crimes by their own description. Why are they doing that?
Yeah. It's Trump? No. If it was Trump, Biden, dude, they gave that guy.
I will say this. If there were actual evidence that Trump did it, anything at all, in the Epstein files, it would have been released. 100% would have. They were shit-talking him about taxes, about everything like that could possibly be thrown at him. But the one thing they didn't throw at him was the Epstein file stuff. And they could have released it any way they wanted to. They could have released it like where everything's redacted except for Trump's name, and they would have, if possible. The fact that they didn't says something. I could be wrong. I'm open to be wrong, but they threw everything else at him. They tried to get him on felonies that weren't even felonies until they changed the law to make them felonies. They also changed the law so they could charge him like backwards 20, 30 years, so I think if he was there, it would have been released. It's call a duck a duck.
34 fucking felonies. They arrested him. They gave him a mugshot. They did everything. If they could have gone after Trump, it would have been. They had 4 fucking years to do that. It could be Trump also, but it's a lot of.
Really, only 2 potential explanations that I can think of. Maybe you've got another. The first is that Trump is involved. That Trump is on the list. That they've got tape of Trump doing something awful.
Yeah.
I don't believe that for 2 reasons. One, I've talked to Trump about it a lot.
So Trump said he wasn't on the list. All right, Tucker. That fucking settles it. Oh, shit. Okay. Wow, case closed. All right. Trump said he wasn't on the list.
And what?
Yep. Yeah, I'm investing in myself, and I found myself innocent, guys. That's perfect.
I know him. He's not that, for whatever his sins. I don't think he's that guy, actually. I don't think he likes creepy sex stuff. That's just my view.
I mean, but well, if he, isn't it weird though that he made like a lot of comments about women? Didn't he make sexual comments about his own daughter when she's like 13? Like, I mean, I'm not a Trump hater, right? But like, I remember when that happened. Yeah, like, I mean, who does that? It wasn't his daughter? Oh, that makes it.
Well, shit, that makes it better. It's all okay now. Yeah, no, I remember those comments too, and I'm just like, why would you say that? Why would you say that? It's crazy.
So much better.
But more, I think, convincing is that this is all information that the Biden administration had.
Uh-huh.
And if there was evidence that Trump had been involved in illegal sexual activity,
this one makes more sense.
You think the people who made up Russiagate wouldn't have leaked it?
Exactly.
Right. Come on now.
They would have leaked it.
So the only other explanation that I can think of, again, maybe you've got another, is that intel services are at the very center of this story, U.S. and Israeli, and they're being protected. I think that seems like the most plausible.
That's the most obvious. They have a history of this.
Nope. I think they're both wrong. I think the reason why is that everybody inside of leadership, inside of all Western culture, leadership, fucking Great Britain, the UK, the Europe, fucking France. Where are some of those other bullshit countries over there? Germany. All those like NATO, all the NATO countries, like Australia. I've heard of that one. Australia's in Europe, right? I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. And so, and then America, right? I think that everybody is involved. I think they're all involved, and there is some form of third party, and it becomes increasingly likely that it is not Israel, but it is in fact China or Russia that has access to all of this data and information. And if one group leaks it without leaking everything, they will provide the full copy of everything that happened.
That's a big claim. I hope he goes into why he thinks that. That would be unbelievably scandalous, I think, if that's true. I will say, I do think it involves a shit ton of people in power. I mean, a shit ton of people in power. In fact, like, in most cases where prostitution, trafficking, and stuff like that has been discovered, it's almost always led back to people in power. It's not some bodunk redneck in the middle of nowhere. Like, the 80s, it led to the Arkansas governor, allegedly, right? That was Bill Clinton, because the whole trail leading back to him, you had the cops, the DA, the medical examiner, you name it. You just go up the list, and all that led back to, allegedly, the Clintons, right? And then you have, like, it's just all over the place. There's, like, Pennsylvania, like, governor or mayor, I forget who it is, who's, like, a convicted pedophile. Like, it's in positions of power, you find these people, probably because they're psychopaths, right? They're willing to do anything to get power. Lie, smile, do whatever it is, as long as they get to do what they want to do. or sociopaths. Yeah, check me on that, you know, if you guys know.
That is the no fucking way. No. That's the it's clearly Israel. The reason why I think that it's not Israel,
It really doesn't matter which country you think it is. It's still a massive claim. That's a massive claim. To back up that claim, you'd have to have a metric fuck ton of evidence.
is because I think the Israelis were in on it. Bro, like they're calling each other first names, etc. Like really, like I think they were in.
This must be data I don't have. So I hope as I react to this more, I see what they're talking about, so that I'm able to, you know, maybe I should do a reaction to like a Nuxnor video, because that guy, man, he usually goes really in depth into data. So I wonder if he did one covering this topic
On it too. So and they're a part of the Western world. So
They
I
sure
think
are.
that it has to be logically right. And I think that like so my second guess is Israel. My first guess is China/Russia. That's all. I'm not saying that you're wrong, okay? Like, that's still my second guess, and you could be right, but I think that it's one or the other. And there it is, or one of those three. And so that's the only reason why it could happen. North Korea,
I don't know why somebody would say North Korea. I don't think they have the power for this, right? So you'd have to have the information and have the power to back it up. And North Korea is like a flea, you know? They're over there biting people and shit, but they can't really do anything.
bro, no, it's not North Korea. Like, there's nothing.
And if it was North Korea, right, America would probably just send in like a squad and assassinate everyone that could possibly have the information. Yeah, they would just sweep them.
Things happening in North Korea except for people being on meth and getting killed. And so that's it. It's intelligence based. It would destroy all faith in our systems and institutions. I disagree with you. I think that if we found out that all of this was happening and then all the people that did it faced trial, it would actually restore more faith than ever.
100% agree. 100% agree. If we could find out who did this, who's involved, and hold everyone accountable, it would help. It would help, because then the average American person would see that even powerful people can be held accountable under the law.
Because that would be a degree of accountability. I think people for a very long time, and this has been going on, I think, ever since the Kennedy assassination. This is, again, like, I wasn't alive then. I know I'm old. I'm not that old. I wasn't alive then, but I think it's been going on since.
Hey, man, we're both old. It's okay.
Then that, like, as soon as, like, Lee Harvey Oswald just gets shot inside of the police station and he gets killed out of fucking nowhere, how the fuck does that happen? What are the odds, right? And he makes some shot from a million miles away. And so I think ever since then, there has been a growing disillusionment that people have had with the with the government at large. And I think that it has gotten worse. Like, people think the moon landing was fake. They think Vietnam was fake. They think that us going to war in the Middle East was just for oil. They think Bush did 9/11, or Jews did 9/11, or, hey, why not both? And they think, yeah, all this stuff. And Vietnam, really? Yes.
Yeah, this is true. I've heard all these things, like, not all from one person, but I've been on the internet for a while. I've heard all of these conspiracy theories, and everyone believes at least one conspiracy theory. I mean, the craziest guy I ever met believed that the moon was fake too, and all the countries were like conspiring to make a fake moon that was like a hologram or some shit. Because anyway, it was a wild story, something about a rabbi in fucking New Orleans that told him so.
Gulf of Tonkin, fucking yes, exactly. They said that's a false flag, 100%. So there is a massive amount of distrust in the government that exists at a macro level that is oppressive to all parts of government, and it makes people hate the government.
I agree.
The fact that they can't come out and just say, bro, this is what happened, these are the people.
It's not just that, it's the fact that they've never come out and said, hey, this is what happened. Even after, like, I could understand if they're holding it to the vest, if, like, they're still investigating, right? Because they don't want to give away their hand when they're still investigating some crime or whatever. But after the investigation period, why not just release the information? They're always redacting shit and blah blah blah. And I think the only time you should redact is if you're protecting victims or informants. And at any other time, all the data should be released. It makes no sense why we have to wait 20 years to get FBI files. I don't understand that at all. It's retarded. It's retarded.
That is the exact opposite. Trust in the government. If you had to like fucking do a poll,
I think it's at an all-time low. Yeah, I think trust in the government is only higher than trust in the media.
I bet it is the lowest now than it's been probably in 50 years. Like, and maybe like, I don't know, maybe like right after something, maybe it was slightly lower. But I would say like on an average, I think it is just simply, is there a poll for this actually? Let me see here. Poll Americans trust in the government over the years. Let me see if I can find no. Let me see I just want the images. Wow.
I feel that same way when I'm trying to Google something. It's like, would you like to try the AI? I'm like, get the fuck out of here. But look at that. Yep. Trust. Man, it went up from super high to fucking low. Yep.
Okay, so I totally made this up. I completely made this up with literally no bearing, facts, or evidence whatsoever. And it turns out I was right.
Yep.
This is just a vibe. I just had a vibe. I was like, you know what?
Man, look at that in the middle. Trust in the government to do what's right, all or most of the time. Democrats in 2001 at 52%. May 2022, 29%. That's a massive drop, but not even close to as much as the drop of Republicans over here. 68% in 2001, 9% in 2022. Yeah, all-time low is, that's such a swing. That's such a swing. More people distrust the government than trust.
I think this is probably true. Yeah, it's 2015. Oh, you're right. Great point. Let's see. 2025, 2010s. What do we have? It looks like 2015. It looks like we're not. Maybe, you know what? Maybe they stopped doing these polls. Maybe they're like, guys, shut it down.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so
Get
Hispanic
roasted.
ad. This is, I guess, one example of it. Let me see. Open image and new tab. So we've got right here, Biden. I guess it went up slightly during COVID. I think this is just really a reaction to COVID and people wanting to be protected by the government by COVID. I don't think this really says a whole lot. COVID was lower. Yeah, but I think that really it probably went down. I think it's about right here right now. This is
agree.
Awful. It's real bad. 2023, how convenient. Makes no sense. Well, no, it does. Because anybody who expressed distrust in the government was suppressed and censored and shut down.
Yeah.
So logically, it would make sense that the only people that you're seeing discussing this are people that are more positive about it. So yeah, the trust in the government is at an all-time low.
And that shocks nobody. Like, no one's shocked. No one is shocked by that.
Multiple documented cases of pedophilia inside of the CIA perpetrated.
Yeah, exactly. Multiple cases of pedophilia inside of the CIA. Even people stationed in other countries. I forget which country it was, but I think it was like South America, or it was either South America. I think it was South America, where they had 14 agents that had information of them like dealing with sex trafficking while in that country, of girls that are underage, and it was all swept under the rug to protect them in the image of the CIA, which is absolutely ridiculous, because I would have a higher opinion of the CIA if they just shot all those people, like, personally.
Traded by CIA officers, documented that in many of those.
If you know anything about history, you would know that Epstein is actually the first noteworthy person to ever be a pedophile in the history of mankind.
Yeah, that's true. Yep,
Nobody
never happened
in
before.
Powerful positions ever did this in the past. This is the first time. That's why it's such a big deal.
I believe over a dozen cases. This was a BuzzFeed news piece years back where the CIA specifically did not want to prosecute those individuals in federal court for fear that they would reveal sources and methods if they were pulled into open court.
Yeah.
And they basically just made it go away. The only time they actually prosecuted somebody for child pornography was whenever he had already being prosecuted for mishandling classified information.
Well, when they
Well,
want to
that's
crash,
convenient.
they put kitty porn in your computers. Why don't have a computer?
It has no-
Don't own one.
If you're an
That's
important
why.
person, you should be careful.
That's base, Tucker. That's base, Tucker. It's like when they want to get you or something. Oh my goodness, they put kitty porn in your fucking computer. That's why he doesn't own a computer, man. Good guy. More power to you. Honestly, more power to you.
No
And
computer in
doesn't
my
own a-
house.
This is an
He's like, I'm scared, bro. He's like, I've
Bro,
seen too much shit.
That's crazy. Wow.
important
Yeah.
thing, though, is that we already
I think we're at such a crazy time right now, and distrust is so low that what Tucker said is normally sane. It's abnormally sane. He has a family to think about.
have documented cases of them covering this up with,
Yeah.
I believe, the CIA Inspector General. I forget the exact quote, but he said something along the lines of, "You wouldn't even believe the amount of child porn that I've seen while I'm on this job." I mean, these are depraved. Look, I mean, it's a large organization, a small percentage of the U.S. We can make that argument. I think there is like something pathological, kind of in the minds of the people who excel in this type of environment.
Of course, it's based.
It kind of reminds me. It could be like that saying, if you gaze long enough into the abyss, eventually the abyss gazes back into you. I wouldn't be shocked if some of the agents that are guilty of this is good faith. I'm just trying to be good faith here. If they have been subjected to so much imagery of that nature in the course of their investigations that let me think here. That their brain kicked on to make it normal, right? Like, it's like your brain's like defensive response. But that doesn't excuse it. But it's like maybe we don't have enough help for the guys that we have investigate these things.
Based on lying.
Yes.
Yep, and there it is. And don't you guys own computers? Yeah, I guess not powerful. We've been fucking kids since day one. Yeah, exactly. It's too convenient for the U.S. For the narrative to elude multiple countries being at fault. Yeah, I think the people with most to lose are American. I think that you're absolutely right.
I would agree.
You are 100% right. Let's listen to Ben Shapiro. This guy, he's a...
We now have the answers. And the problem is this. People who never hedged their bets, people who never at any point suggested...
I'm telling you guys, it's getting bigger. The hat that he wears, it's getting bigger.
He's just more and more Jewish, man. The little hat, he's more and more.
What is it going to be like in 5 years from now? Every single time that I see one of these, it's a bigger one.
He just wants you to know.
Is this like, his power level or something?
Jewish.
What is
power
this,
level.
like Samson?
to you that they don't have data to back up the speculation, that the speculation was in and of itself the conclusion that if you speculate without evidence that amounts to an actual conclusion to an investigation, they're going to be very upset today, because it turns out that the DOJ and the FBI have concluded that Epstein didn't have a client list and died by suicide, according to a memo detailing the findings obtained by Axios.
That's what
now, again,
they said.
does this put to bed?
That's what they said, but that's
Of course
crazy.
not.
Oh yeah, no. Oh, okay. So he killed himself, and nobody did anything wrong. Oh wow. Well, that's yay, great. Okay, guys. I thought it was gonna be something bad.
Yeah.
People can.
It's a good thing Epstein killed himself. Also, he doesn't have a client list that they said he had, and he was also the only person doing anything wrong. That's what the FBI has said. You would have to show me proof. Like, they would have to find the tapes, and on every tape it's just Epstein on some, like, fucking child for me to believe that shit, because that's unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
Continue to speculate as much as they want, and I think there's still open questions.
I do think that you're right, that I always wondered if, like, the guys that invented the idea for having this hat we're just a bunch of guys that got together like 2,000 or 3,000 years ago, and they're like, yeah, so like we're all kind of going bald back there. So like, what if we make it like a fucking religious thing where we put like a thing over it so nobody can see this shit, but it's like our religion, so nobody can say that we can't do it.
I agree.
Right? Like,
I always
I
wondered
feel
that.
like, what are the odds of that? Right? What are the fucking odds? But yeah, exactly. And this is the fit. Yeah. But isn't that convenient? Damn.
This is the fit.
Here regarding how did Epstein make his money? But that's a very serious open question. And the speculation for a long time was he made his money from blackmail. But the DOJ...
Well, we do know that several big-name people paid him, like, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars for quote-quote financial services, like tax help and stuff like that, which makes no sense whatsoever because Epstein himself was not a tax expert. So it's like, just suspiciously, they're giving him hundreds of millions of dollars for tax expertise with some super sus messages.
And the FBI, again, run by people like Dan Bongino and Kash Patel and Pam Bondi are telling you, I'm not telling you, they're telling you, people who are members of the Trump administration, people you elected and put into these positions.
Oh, I didn't elect Kash Patel. I didn't elect Pam Bondi. Trump put him in office. And also, like,
Yeah.
I mean, I would have elected Kash Patel to FBI.
Me
I
too.
thought the guy was great.
Yeah.
I did. Who else thought he was great? I
Yep.
thought he was awesome. And then he gets in.
Yeah, I thought he was great. He was saying the things I wanted to hear. He gets in, he doesn't release the files, and he says Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, and all the big files that they had aren't so big, and the client log that they had wasn't really a client log. Like, you know, it's just too many. There's too many things to make me believe it.
In there, and he doesn't do anything. He doesn't fucking do anything.
Yeah.
Like, I'm mad. I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna... Oh, wow, we're gonna get change? Well, I guess he changed his mind.
Yep.
Fuck.
Or he got paid off.
To get you the truth on this matter are telling you that he didn't, in fact, he was not murdered. He did not keep a client list.
Yeah.
And he did not blackmail powerful figures.
Well, that's...
Anyway, that is the thing that they are saying, not I. They are saying this.
Yes.
You know why Ben Shapiro isn't saying it? Because even he can't believe it. He's a diehard Republican, and he is just like, there ain't no fucking way. There ain't no fucking way.
If you are willing to throw that over and claim they're lying, then I'd like to see you present your evidence that they are in fact lying. Because
Okay, here's my evidence.
Yep.
You want my evidence?
Yeah, I want it.
The fact that they said that they had tens of thousands of hours of child porn footage, but they were unable to release the faces or go after investigations to identify the people inside of those videos.
They did say that. They said it on live news. They swore. They swore. Thousands of hours.
At all. That's the reason. That's it. It was just the girls. Nobody, you don't know that, and I bet that's not true.
Exactly.
I know Dan. I don't
also
think that Dan Bongino is lying to me. I know Kash Patel a little bit. I don't think Kash Patel is lying to me.
Uh-huh.
I don't think these people are lying to me.
I don't know why Ben Shapiro is trying to put his reputation on trying to sweep this. I don't know why. Why would he do that? Do you...
Yeah, it seems like a lot to risk for him. I agree.
seriously think it's Kash Patel or Pam Bondi? Obviously, if Trump wants it done, he would. Clearly, he doesn't. Well, I mean, they can't even... Bro, Kash Patel can't even figure out a bunch of Reddit people figuring shit, like trying to blow up the president on Craigslist. They can't even figure that shit out. So no, I mean, bro, if you can't even get Craigslist under control, you really want me to go and act like, oh no, they're working as hard as they can? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. They could be working harder. Epstein was owned by Israel? Well, I don't know.
Which means that if somebody else continues to claim that they're lying, they ought to provide their evidence at this point. And now is the point at which the facts on the ground have changed. And so either you ought to shift your opinion based on the facts that have now emerged, or...
It's not the fact... No.
It's not the facts that have emerged. It's... You can't sweep so many things that they claim to have had under the rug as if they never claimed that they had them. And you can't convince people that you know, you just can't convince people of that. They said they had tapes. Now all of a sudden they don't have tapes. They said that they had thousands of hours of, you know, a whole client list and thousands of people and names and blah, blah, but now they don't. I'm like, you can't do that. You really can't. You can't just change your mind and then refuse to release anything, and you can't charge anybody, and nothing happened. It's crazy.
Oh no, you're wrong. These aren't the facts. These are the conclusions presented by facts that are not public. No, you have to take the conclusion of the investigation and then assume that the facts are legitimate and that other things weren't ignored. These are two totally different fucking things. What is going on here?
You have to acknowledge that this was never a fact-based inquiry in the first place.
It was not a fact-based inquiry in the first place. Yeah, it was. It absolutely was.
Yep.
How do you have all of these victims? They can't identify anyone. The guy kills himself in jail. And also, by the way, I think that it's completely possible that Jeffrey Epstein actually killed himself. I do. And I think that's a red herring, in my opinion. Oh, did he kill himself or did they kill him? It doesn't matter, right? Because both points lead to the same problem, right? And so that's it. It's all too convenient. It's outrageous.
Yep.
It's a big herring. Yeah, same result. Yeah, how do you have all these photos and all these videos, but you can't identify a single person?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I spoke too soon. Ben Shapiro absolutely tried to dick Wright right there. That's wild. It's not about the facts that were presented. It's about all the evidence they claimed they had that's being ignored. I think we can all agree on that. But anyway, if you like this video, like hearing it, you know, subscribe, leave a comment, suggest something to watch in the comments, and I'll look into it. Bye-bye.